Hey guys, I'm back with another episode in the Hackman Quarry Devlog series. So last time we went over the very basic skeleton of the game, and some of the progress we've made so far. But today, I'll actually get to develop something. In this episode, I'll be updating the cave generation, because right now, you kinda just dig around endlessly with no goal in mind. The scene being ever static until your mind eventually goes numb from the endless sea of gray, your mining becoming nothing more than intrinsic muscle memory. So I'll be making more caves to ramp up the diversity. And yes, I did mention that I have to make the caves. I've tried to wrap my head around procedural generation and noise maps, but it never turned out right. And with handmade caves, I can directly control how they look. Okay, this is getting boring. How about we plan how the caves will spawn instead? Right now, there's one cave that spawns randomly throughout the world. But that's really bad for performance, because having a bunch of already exposed stone and ores that the player doesn't see isn't putting our resources in the right place. So instead, caves will randomly spawn in front of you when you're mining. Basically, every time the player mines an ore, the counter ticks down. And once the counter reaches 0, the game will reach into a folder that contains all of the caves. And it'll pick every cave that fits the player's current depth. Then, it rolls a dice based on the highest rarity value of each cave. So let's say, if a cave has a rarity of 15, the game will roll a dice from 1 to 15. And if it doesn't land on 1, the cave is not selected. Alright, let's check back in with Time-Lapse Mini. Okay, he's still busy right now. So let's work on something else. An issue I've encountered was sometimes the player gets to a cave before it's done generating, and then they would see things that they weren't meant to see. So to combat this, I added a barrier that surrounds the caves and prevents access into the caves finished generating. It gets brighter the more generated the cave is, and eventually fades out once it's complete. And I also added a little notification that lets the player know when a cave spawned, just to make the game a little more fair. So that's all the stuff I added so far. Mining is a lot more fun now that it's not an endless mass of stone. Of course, more caves will be added in the future, and in the next devlog or so, I'll also add structures. What are those? You'll have to stay tuned for that.